For a moment, I stood on the landing above and watched them. Uncle Amar was reading the paper, while Aunt Claire rubbed the back of his head. She was talking to Sammy about the festival, while Jai poured half a bottle of syrup onto his waffle stack. Sammy said something that made Aunt Claire laugh, and suddenly I almost wished I had never come to August Isle in the first place. It wasn't fair to know that families as great as the Grovers existed when you weren't actually a part of one. The weight of dread that had been growing in my stomach felt like an iron anchor, threatening to drag me down, down, down. Uncle Amar spotted me as he turned the page of his paper. "Ah," he said. "There she is, the lady of the hour." "Oh, good," Aunt Claire said. "I was going to send Sammy up for you soon. You better get those pies in the oven so we can head over to the festival as soon as they're ready. Come have some breakfast first." "Actually, I'm not really hungry," I said. "You don't feel well?" she asked. I shook my head. "I hope you aren't coming down with something," Aunt Claire said, pushing back her chair and getting up. As I shuffled down the rest of the stairs, she reached out to feel my forehead. I closed my eyes as her cool hand pressed reassuringly against my skin. "No fever?" she said. "There is something going around the aisle," Uncle Amar said. "A bad cold." Sammy was shooting me a meaningful look. She knew why I felt so horrible, and that it had nothing to do with a cold. "Well, you don't have to make the pies if you don't feel up to it," Aunt Claire said. I was supposed to make 2 pies, one for the competition and one for us to eat ourselves afterward. I would rather have gone back to bed and pulled the covers up over my head. But I could hear the disappointment in Aunt Claire's voice, and I thought of all the time she had spent helping me practice. I couldn't let her down now. "No," I said. "It's okay. I want to. But maybe... Could I stay home instead of going with you to the festival?" Jai's head whipped around toward me. Sammy's eyebrows shot up in a question, but I gave my head the tiniest shake. They both probably thought I was planning some kind of escape to Keeper's Island. Really, I just didn't want to spend the day watching all the happy families go on carnival rides and eat hot dogs and play silly games together. I couldn't bear the Grovers being so nice to me, treating me like I belonged with them, and I was just going to leave in 2 days. It was better to pretend I was already gone. "Well, I suppose," Aunt Claire said uncertainly. "Amar can stay with you if you don't want to come." "No," I protested. "I'll be fine. Really." "Are you kidding?" Uncle Amar said. "An excuse to stay home and put my feet up instead of going to that circus? You're an angel, Miranda." "Then it's settled," Aunt Claire said. "Amar will be here if you start feeling any worse. Sammy and I will take your pie and enter it for you. Won't we, Sammy?" I set to work on my pies, rolling out the thoroughly chilled crusts and making the lemon curds. It was actually a relief how quiet my head got while I worked. Almost peaceful. As I put the pies into the oven, I promised myself that I was going to keep baking when I got home. I would teach myself to make cakes next. They would be easy after learning pies. I would make pound cakes and layer cakes and cheesecakes and cupcakes. At least that way I could hold on to one tiny bit of my summer here. When the pies were cooling, Sammy and I went back upstairs, where she was supposed to be getting ready for the festival. Instead, she grabbed Bluey and cuddled him between her arms. "I want to stay here with you," she said, pouting. "The festival won't be any fun on my own." Bluey's one eye looked at me accusingly.